I just posted a $91 million bond, 91 million, on a fake story, totally made up story. Think of it, 91 million. I could say things about what it would cost normally. 91 million. Based on false accusations made about me by a woman that I knew nothing about, didn't know, never heard of. I know nothing about her. She wrote a book, she said things. And when I denied it, I said, it's so crazy, it's false. I got sued for defamation.
E. Jean Carroll's lawyer has warned that they could sue Donald Trump a third time because apparently owing $83.3 million isn't enough for the former president. Trump owes Carroll the massive amount for sexually abusing her in the mid-1990s and then defaming her twice when denying the assault. Trump is apparently unable to accept his fate, most recently insisting again at a rally over the weekend that he doesn't know who Carroll is, and in essence possibly defamed her once again with his comments in reference to her and their defamation case.
About me by a woman that I knew nothing about, didn't know, never heard of. I know nothing about her.
Carroll revealed in her 2019 memoir that Trump sexually assaulted her in the Manhattan Bergdorf Goodman department store in the mid-1990s. She then in turn sued him twice. The first lawsuit was for the assault and for posts he made about her on social media in 2022. Last spring, a jury found Trump liable of sexual abuse and defamation and ordered him to pay Carroll $5 million in damages. The second lawsuit, which went to trial in January, was over Trump's allegations in 2019 that Carroll had made up the rape allegations to promote her book. And then, hours after he was found liable for sexual abuse, he went on CNN and repeated comments about Carroll that had just been deemed defamatory. The jury in the case awarded Carroll a total of $83.3 million in damages.
Or with what? Well, the possibility of new legal issues for Donald Trump. Just one day after posting $1 million bond that does allow Trump to appeal the defamation judgment he owes E. Jean Carroll, Trump might have actually defamed Carroll again and opened himself up to a third lawsuit. Just listen to what he said last night in Rome, Georgia.
I just posted a $91 million bond, 91 million, on a fake story, totally made up story. Think of it, 91 million. I could say things about what it would cost normally. 91 million. Based on false accusations made about me by a woman that I knew nothing about, didn't know, never heard of. I know nothing about. She wrote a book, she said things. And when I denied it, I said, it's so crazy, it's false. I got sued for defamation.
It is just remarkable. Lisa Rubin's here, MSNBC legal correspondent. Here in D.C., January 6th committee investigator Marcus Childress.
It is remarkable because Donald Trump is Donald Trump. I want to start with this $91 million, which I think is pretty interesting. Andrew Weissman, our friend, noted in a tweet, 90 million down, 400 million to go, and the public has no idea who may have actually put up the money or provided a guarantee to support the bond. But one thing's sure, Trump is beholden to someone for a whole lot of money. Talk to us about this bond and what that says, Marcus, about the fact that it was posted. Does it matter who put it up behind it? Do we need to know who that person is? We're not going to get into that transaction, obviously, between Trump and that individual, but given his stature and who he is, it would be helpful to shed a little light on some of that.
Right. I mean, the thing I take away from it is I need better friends because clearly,
really?
I know my friends wouldn't help me with that. But what it says, I think what it matters here is because he's running for president, right? And so we probably as the American public should know who is either guaranteeing or co-signing that much money for someone who's running to be the leader of the free world. What it says practically is that, look, he's going to appeal the decision in this case. But we got to look down the road. There's another $400 million or so, as Andrew Weissman said, that he's going to have to put up here. And that's a lot of money as you're heading into an election for the presidency.
I'm still like this,
Yes,
Alicia.
I know, me too. And you would think at this point, Lisa Rubin, we would no longer be surprised by his lack of discipline. But the thing we kept coming back to when this sum was ordered was, is this number big enough to make him stop? We now have an answer.
Well, you're right. We do have an answer. It was enough to make him stop until he was past a point that the judge could no longer order more, have any further consequences for it. I mean, I'm struck by the fact, Alicia, that he said these things the night after he posted a bond, filed his notice of appeal. The judgment is long past finalized. Should E. Jean Carroll and her team want any further relief now, their only option is to file a new lawsuit. And what's striking about that is in the last case, the punitive damages award of $65 million was as great as it was because Donald Trump kept saying it after the initial judgment. The argument they made is he was not deterred by the first award, and in fact, continued to say it again and again and again. And they even aired clips, for example, of the CNN town hall days after the initial verdict. So he was, in some respects, very disciplined. He didn't say a word until after the notice of appeal. He obtained a bond through a reputable insurer, Chubb Insurance Company, posted that $91.63 million. And then the night after, he goes on a tirade saying things that not only are potentially defamatory, but totally echo the two statements in 2019 for which he was held liable.
So what is E. Jean Carroll's recourse now?
You know, I wish I could get into Robbie Kaplan and Sean Crowley's head right now, because I think her recourse here is to sue again, or at the very least, to oppose the bond, which is an option that Judge Kaplan gave them. Judge Kaplan said if they want to oppose the bond in any respect, they have until Monday, that's tomorrow, at 11 o'clock. If they do oppose it, there'll be a hearing at 3 p.m. tomorrow in Manhattan Federal Court. And if there is, I'll be there.
Yet another thing to look for, friends.